Blog Talk Radio.
Changing minds one thought at a time.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Motivate Social, where we bring you people who are changing the world via social media. How are you doing today, Vanessa?
I am great. How are you doing?
I am great. You know, today we decided to just hang out today and just let us be us, right? So
Absolutely.
we are just going to go in it today. We're just going to go in today, and we're going to be talking about let's get ready for 2018. So, you know, I know all of y'all are seeing all of these video lives and YouTubes and classes and all this stuff about getting ready for 2018. Yet some of y'all still ain't doing it. Yet some of y'all still ain't doing it. So what? And yes, I say it ain't because we getting down tonight, right?
Absolutely.
So why are we not doing it? Vanessa, what are your thoughts on why are we not getting ready?
I think it's a mixture of a lot of things. One is what I call the fear, the mask that we have created for ourselves. And so we keep this mask on of fear, which is holding us back from moving forward to do what we know that what we need to be doing. But for some reason, we are keep on allowing fear to show up. So we just choose to sit back on down and just think on and pray about it and keep on talking about it. But at the same time, you're not taking no action on it. So I believe it's that mask of fear.
That's a thought. That's a good thought, you know. And what happens if people say, I'm not scared, I know what I'm supposed to do, I just haven't done it yet? What would you say to them?
It's this new thing that I say to a lot of people that I know that can do it. And I don't know how to sugarcoat, but I tell people to stop digging in your butt. You should really have sores by now. I mean, How else can we say this? Because my thing is, you sitting on your gift, right? You sitting on it, but you too busy not allowing yourself to move forward, so you just keep on digging in your butt. You got sores. You're making excuses. You just, okay, I'm going to get to it, but you're not getting to it. And so now here you are just sitting there just saying, dang, my butt hurts. Well, maybe you need to give it a break and just stop making excuses and give it your all. Just go in, all the way in. You will never know what can take place, what can happen, what can take you to that next level if you're not willing to be able to show up.
That's exactly right. You never know what can happen if you don't show up. I mean, we make it easy on ourselves, especially as introverts, when we just don't go. Because we already know what the outcome of that is. We're going to be calm. We're going to be easy. We're going to be restful in our own house, in our own environment, in our own comfy box. But what happens when we stretch outside that box? What will happen? That's a very good question. You don't know, and that's the problem.
Yep.
You know, but you know what's going to happen if you stay home. So you stay home. You know, the same thing with not planning for 2018. You don't know if you don't spend all this time writing, and I know some of y'all thinking this, I spend all this time writing and planning and stuff, and it don't even come out. Okay. Well, that's the whole point of planning, because then you can do and research the things necessary to make all that stuff you were just writing happen. That's the whole point of planning. See, we have to sit down. The stuff that we write is a blueprint for action.
Mm-hmm.
Planning is a blueprint for action. So if you do not have a blueprint for the action, then 9 times out of 10, you're going to go all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Versus if you're in a car and you have a place to go, you have a map, you're going to most likely end up where you wanted to go. Mm-hmm. However, if you are in that car and you have no map, but you're supposed to show up somewhere and your GPS is working, because I know, let's say you're going to say, oh, I'm going to use my GPS, or my GPS,
mm-hmm.
you know,
mm-hmm.
if you don't have these tools and you're just supposed to get up there and find your way, it's going to be a hot mess.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, if you think about it as such, being that the planning is a blueprint to the action, if you want to take successful action, effective action, then you will sit up there and write that plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my thoughts.
Yep.
What are your thoughts, Vanessa?
It's just like they say faith without works is dead. If you don't activate that faith, then what? You got faith all day long, but did you activate it? Did you start taking things into motion? Did you start taking action on what's your blueprint, the GPS that you have mapped out for yourself? Did you take any action to be able to get to your destination? Yes, it's going to take some time. I understand that. Just like when you start from home and you got to take you an hour away, it takes some time. Same thing as in your business. It's going to take you some time in order for you to get there. So now, are you willing to be able to understand that process? Now, can you go ahead and get outside of that process and go ahead and just take the action? You may not know what's up again. It could be a traffic jam. Maybe it could be a car accident. Better yet, it just could be the traffic would just be at a standstill. But understand there's a process to the destination. So let's go back a little bit more. Just think about it. You've already got the address to where you need to go. You say, okay, I'm going to be at home. I know what time, because the GPS is going to tell you what time you will arrive. Now, the GPS may turn you around. Like they said, you got to take an alternate route because there is that traffic jam. Better yet, there probably might not be a route that you could go because you on expressway, right? So now your time that it was set from when you left your house until you got to the expressway, until you got to the next expressway, because I got to take expressway to expressway sometimes, that time will go up. So instead of you arriving in 40 minutes, you probably now, let's say it's going to be 2 hours because we don't know when it's going to end. But right now, as long as you're sitting here, that time is going to be for 2 hours. Then what you going to do? You're going to sit there and you're going to complain. What is it? No, you're at a standstill for now. But understand, once that traffic jam clears up, you can still arrive at your destination. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to understand. Just go ahead. That's that trial and tribulation that you're going to go through. Maybe there's going to be some turbulence. But still in all, you will get to your destination. But you need to activate and take action so you can see the end result. Because that is the end result. But you need to go ahead and activate that.
Nice scenario. So I guess the next question is, now that we have motivated ourselves to do this blueprint, Vanessa, tell us some of the things how you're getting ready to get ready for 2018.
Well, one of the things that especially because the end of this, the last 2 months are the hardest. Oh my God. I didn't realize how hard it is now that I've been in it for a little bit. But now I'm learning to start in October, planning for the new year. Because we get caught up in what we're doing with our family. We haven't seen them in a while. taking a little day or two off, and then, go ahead. At least you have those things planned out already for the new year. So I have started to be able to get a separate folder and said, okay, these are the things that I've been working on for 2017, but are supposed to go into 2018. And now I take a look, say, if this really what I want to be doing, is this the really direction I want to take my business in? And now that I have some time to sit on it, I know, okay, yes, I want to go ahead and make it happen in 2018. So I can place those things to that folder, right? And so now that I have placed those things to those folders, now that I have those things that I'm just like, I'm just going to go ahead and push that off because that's not going to work with what I'm already going to be working with, because you want to challenge yourself. Don't keep just doing the same thing over and over. No, challenge yourself. And that's one of the things that I'm doing is pushing the envelope and challenging myself more. So those things that I thought of doing in 2018, so much has changed, right? So now that I have my folder in place, I could be able to now say, okay, what do I need to do in order for me to be able to hit these goals, right? Sit down, be realistic in a quiet place, and say, okay, I need to do X to be able to get to Y, to be able to get to Z. What are those things that you need to do? Because you're already done at A, B, and C. You've been dealing with this all year long. You're at X, Y, Z now, because you're at the place where you need to execute. Going into the new year, you're going to hit back to A. Is that making sense? And so now once you have done that, you can be able to say, I will be able to plan more speaking engagements, or I'm going to be able to write that book, or I'm going to be able to start that conference. I'm going to be able to do more collaborations, whatever the case may be. You already have that in the folder. Now, have you started doing your research? Have you started to make a plan to put those things into place? And now you have that plan, that X, Y, and Z. Now you have work to do. So now you're going into the new year ready. You're well ready of knowing that I already know that I need to write that book. I already know I have that deadline. I already know that I need to do that conference. I have that deadline. I know that I need to be doing more speaking engagements. I have that deadline. Better yet, I need to be able to direct more people to be able to do these things, delegate. Okay, I know I need to be able to do that. In order for me to be able to do this, I need to delegate. So I'm okay with accepting the fact that I may not be able to do all the things that I was doing because of a one-man show. I know I need a team to be able to do these things over here. Be okay with knowing when it's time to get you a team. How about you?
Good question. So I have to start a little earlier. I have to do it throughout the year, honestly.
Mhm.
Because I know me. I'll get into some kind of little thought pattern, and then here we go. So I put my stuff in quadrants. The circle of life. I do them in those quadrants. And I try to prioritize things in that nature so that I can fully get the gist of what's going on. And so I'll do personal, and I'll do financial, and I'll do spiritual, and I'll do it comes out to 6 categories, but, that's just for example. And so I'll go through there, and I'll just put things that fall into these categories. I'll brainstorm first. I just put everything I'm thinking just in a notebook, and I'll just start writing. And then I will put them in the categories. And then I'm like, okay. So now I see, this helps me to see where my priorities lie. If one area is like super, super loaded, then Houston, we have a problem, because the whole point of this is also to be balanced. we want to keep balancing. We want to keep moving, right? And so we want to make sure that we are focused on the right things as well. And that's super important. So once I get everything in line and I get some kind of well-balanced, close to well-balanced as possible, then I add in my extracurricular activities, such as my giving projects. I'm a servant leader, so I have to give. In order for me to receive in my business, I have to give back. You know, it's a mental thing for me, but it works. And then, so I'll find something throughout the year where I can give my services to. And then I make sure that I have my number of clients that I want, my number of speaking engagements that I want, my number of events that I want to do, and my number of events that I want to cover. And then, of course, classes that I want to facilitate, things of that nature. Put it all in there in the list, and then I go for my goals and make sure that they are obtainable, you know, the SMART goals. Make sure that they fall into those time frames. And once I get everything together and checked off in my boxes, then I have my blueprint. But I do give myself wiggle room because things happen. And I also, you know, I set my calendar up in quarters. So I have to do the whole year. So each page has, each quarter has a page in the notebook. And the reason why is because I get bookings for all kinds of things. So I can't, if I get it early, you know, I need to still be able to slot it in versus waiting until around that time and, I done forgot about it because they done talked to me about it, you know, and if I don't get my flyer until closer to time, then, you know, oops, we have a problem. So I need to do the full year calendar out. But for the most part, just getting everything and seeing it makes it a lot more clear than trying to put everything in your head. And so for a lot of people who are doing everything in your head and not writing it down,
that's the worst thing you could do.
That's why you're muddled. Yeah, sometimes you just have to see it. I'm a mind person, but, you know, there's times when I'm like, look, I just have to see it because, you know, there was a time when I could balance everything in my head, but I didn't have this much stuff going on, and I wasn't this age. So, with that being said, all right. Life makes us a believer, and we get the pen and paper out or the computer and get to typing. And so that's what I'm thinking. So, you're laughing over there, Vanessa. So are you trying to tell me life done made you a believer as well, huh?
Ooh. Man, that's why I have that folder. That folder is like, okay, my goodness. I have to. I'm so visual. I am so visual. You got to show me something. I mean, we can have, have you ever thought about it when that was a good idea. And then she's like, dang, what was the idea again? Because you didn't write it down. Right? And so now you over here mad at the world, kicking yourself because you did not write that idea down. So it's always good, especially when you are in your creative mode. Things will come out of the blue. But if you take a moment, that's, you know, you have your notebooks. I have so many notebooks. My kid's like, which one is which? Don't mind your business. Because I have things for this, I have things for, you know what I mean? You know, you have to have things in decency and order. So you could be able to say, okay, I know this is folder. I go to this for this. I know what I have in this calendar. So when I put my color-coded information in, then I know what goes with what. You have to make sure that the vision is there. They say, write the vision. You got to write the vision and make it plain Whatever is plain to you. If that means like my X, Y, and Z, because I know that's the end of the year, making sure that I have those things in place to get ready to start a new year, because I'm going to have to start right back over at A in order to reach all of those, the goals that I have in line for myself, for our businesses, what we do individually, what we do collectively. You have to have those things in place. Now, if you never have these conversations and to be able to, sometimes you got to talk to yourself if that's what it takes. To write that thing down, whatever it takes, write it down. And that way you can be able to take that headache off of yourself. Don't make it harder than need be. Write the vision, make it plain so it can be right in your face. Get your calendar out. Where's your calendar? Always update your calendar. Check the calendar every day. I have a calendar that's on my wall. I look at that calendar every single day. Every day. We talk about vision boards now. Where's your vision board? Have you done a vision board for yourself? Well, where do you see yourself in the new year? Is that being you want to work on self? Do you want to work on self to make yourself better for your clients and for individuals, for a relationship? What is it? Now, take it and say, I need to be able to also, as I'm working on myself, I want to make sure that I'm cluing things in for my business, for my family. Whatever that is, have the vision board done. Don't make these excuses and procrastinating on not getting it done. Because when we do that, we're holding ourselves back of, executing the plan. And we don't need to do that when we already have other people holding us back. So you going to hold yourself back too? You don't do that.
Right.
And so there's work that needs to be done. And if you receive that vision, it was received for a reason. So why are you not activating that vision? Just like you got to activate your faith, go ahead. See that thing through. It may scare you. Trust and believe it's going to scare you. But that means that's a good thing. That's that thing they need to challenge you, that thing they need to push you, that thing right there, go ahead and do it. And now when it's completed, you can look back and say, I did it. No matter what the naysayers saying, no matter how much you said, okay, I'm going to do it next month or whatever, don't do that. But you did it. That's a beautiful feeling. A beautiful feeling. Say, I finally could check this off of my list. No matter how hard, how challenging, even though you've never done it before. So, the vision was given to you for a reason. Go ahead and see that thing through.
Awesome. Yes. See? Most of the time people are like, wow, I didn't know the planet was so deep. Most people don't think about it as being that deep. Because it's not a priority. Everybody's flying by night. It sounds like that. I'm dating myself when I make this reference. Jesus. The song from Moonlighting. Right? They always talk, some walk by night, some fly by day. Hey, I'm like, okay, but, it's all going with the flow. And but there's some points in life where you can't just go with the flow. You can't. You kind of have to plan. Yeah, we got to go by faith that plan's gonna work, or we have to go on faith and make a risk. But there's a plan with that risk. I mean, come through. And so we need to. This is the one that gets me. God will provide.
Oh my goodness! No, you didn't.
Woo! 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 He will. He will, but he won't do it when you meditating on your couch cushion and waiting for a check to come in your mail. Honey, you have to go out and get a job to make that check appear. Or you have to start selling something. That's commerce. That is what generates money. You know, but yeah, he could provide. He sure could, you know. But at the same time, you know, somebody may come to your door and knock on your door with a check, but they're not going to knock every 2 weeks. And let's be real about the situation. You know, he will bring a ram out in the bush. But how many rams you think he going to provide?
Yep.
Before you have to get off your rusty dusty and get a plan and let's get focused. You know? And you know, I know Vanessa's like, no, she didn't go there. But yes, I did because that bothers me. That bothers me. I have never been allowed to sit on my rusty dusty and do anything. Literally, my mother let me sit on my butt for one summer. All of, 2 months? Summer lasts for children now? 2 months. She lost her mind. I was fine. She lost her mind. I had to get up. I had to get up because she had a personal problem with it. I was fine. She was like, nope. You know, so I was not allowed to just sit and commune with nature and all of that other stuff, you know, and say God will provide. No, he always provided me some type of work. You know what I mean? Or some type of commerce. You know, work was happening. Money was exchanging hands or whatever, you know, or, you know, bartering was happening. But there was always some transactions. And so I say this to say, I say all this to say, there was always a plan in place.
Yeah.
If I just when I went through the week, if my mother would just let me left me to my own devices, I'd been some little sluggy bug somewhere. She didn't leave me to my own devices. And what happened? It became ingrained in me to the point now, to this day, at the age that I am now, that I have to go. I can't even have an off day. You know, they give it to me. That don't mean that I'm off. I'm not doing their work, but I'm doing somebody's work. I do not know how to relax. I don't. But at the end of the day, that also keeps me going and keeps me driven. Yeah. So, you know, and see, that's the part that we have to keep going. That the motivation, the drive, the dedication, that's what's going to keep us going while we're planning this. That motivation gives us that vision. I can do this. You know, that dedication is, I'm not going to quit just because other things come in the way that will mess me up, that could mess me up, that are trying to mess me up. I still go. You know, the perseverance, truck. I got a plan here. I'm going to keep trucking till I get to where? The promised land, where my victory lies. But I'm keeping the trucking. And see, so is planning really that deep? Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah. But is your success even deeper? That is the question you really need to ask yourself. So I'm going to leave that on that nugget right there. So, Vanessa, why don't you close us out, my sister?
Well, as always, it's such an honor to be able to come in and work with you, my love, and to be able to give it to the people. That's what the dynamic duo, that's what we do. But we want you guys to remember that you are worth the vision. And it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to question. It's okay to be human. But what's not okay is to sit on that vision that was given just for you. We are servant leaders. Go out and serve. So feel free to stay connected with us because we're going to keep on giving you some good stuff in preparation for the new year because greatness is on you. your name is greatness, and somebody is waiting for you. So, Dr. Finch, let them know how they can be able to find us and stay connected with us on social media.
Well, we are on Twitter at Change Mind Online without the E, and then, of course, Facebook and Instagram at Changing Minds Online. Please check us out. Comment. Let us know what you think about the new show and any of the other shows. We are on Blog Talk Radio at Change Your Minds Online, and we're also on YouTube at Change Your Minds Online 2. Change Your Minds Online 2. And so, with that being said, we look forward to your comments, and always leave us a comment on iTunes, Stitcher, Tuned In, and Bleaker, and now Otto. So we are growing, we are expanding, and we're ready to take you with us.
Absolutely, absolutely. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, as always, it's such a pleasure to be able to pour into you. Be looking forward to hearing from you, so stay tuned. There's many, many more announcements to come.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.